Hello everyone and welcome to this session. Let me share a PPT with you. All right. So as you can see on the screen, today's session would be about top business schools that you can join with CAT 2025. And in this session, I'm going to give you a complete overview about the profile of the business schools. I'm going to include a lot of important information, such as we will share with you a lot of useful information. But just give me 1 second. I have been told that the PPT may not be visible to some of you. So just give me 1 second. Okay, I have shared it again. So let me know if the PPT is visible to you. Please drop me a message in the chat. Let me know if the PPT is visible. All right, thank you for letting me know. So now that you people have confirmed that the PPT is visible to you, let us start this session. So before I begin, let me give you a little bit of introduction about what exactly would happen here. So in this session, as I said, I'm going to talk about premier business schools. But before I do that, let's understand why is it important to target these premier business schools? Why is it important to get admission into these colleges? See, the reasons are quite a few reasons, in fact, but I'm going to talk about the major ones. So if you get into premier business school, you will have so many advantages. For instance, the quality of education will be far superior. Remember, in premier business schools, you will get to interact with some of the best teachers that we have globally. The second advantage, of course, the quality of the classmates will be much superior. So you will have a diverse set of students coming from varied backgrounds. And remember, MBA qualification, MBA education, during the program, you don't just learn from the teachers, you also get a chance to learn from the fellow batchmates. So a lot of give and take happens during an MBA program. And in premier business schools, you will have absolutely top-notch quality of students. Then, of course, the brand value of your business school, it'll help you at every stage of your life. So whenever you make a resume for yourself, whether it is immediately after MBA or few years down the line, at every single stage you will keep gaining the advantage of having associated yourself with a premier business school. Last but not the least, the kind of placements that happen, the kind of jobs that you get during campus placements will be absolutely top notch. And remember, if you get a good campus placement, life will be very comfortable. Because if you don't study in a premier business school, and God forbid you don't get placement because your business school doesn't have the capability of producing good placement figures, then life becomes a struggle. So having a business school or getting into a business school with good placement facility is pretty important as such. Now, this is where time B school categorization will come into picture in order to help our students decide which are the premier business schools and which are the ones you should be targeting. What we at Time we have done is we have been carrying out categorization of these business schools. Now, as far as ranking of business school is concerned, you have so many media houses, so many websites, so many organizations which carry out categorization. But what keeps Time B school categorization aside from rest of them is we have prepared this particular list solely keeping in mind interest of our students. So this list has been prepared keeping in mind what is good for Time students, so that they can make use of this list, and they can take a call about which business schools to target. Now, while preparing the list of top business schools, we have been carrying out rigorous checks. So we don't accept the claims that the business schools are making on the basis of the face value. We dig deep into it. We verify the claims. The advantage that Time has got is we have got our centers spread across India. So if we come across any claim of any business school which we believe may not be true, we try to verify it by getting in touch with the local Time center, and they ensure that they do visit the place or they do interact with the current students of that business school, or if we also get in touch with the ex-students of Time who may be current or alumni of that business school, and they also help us by giving us inside information. So we do rigorous checks of all the claims that the business school is making, and be rest assured this list is completely unbiased and reliable. The only thing that we have in mind when we prepare this list is the interest of our students. Now, finally, in this categorization, we assign grades and we don't give individual ranks. So, a group of business schools which we believe are all quite similar to each other in terms of quality, we put them in a same grade. So, business schools are graded, they are not assigned individual ranks because we believe business schools are not like horses running a race. And we believe that a better way of classification of business schools is by essentially grading them and not really ranking them as such. That's the reason we believe in actually grading business schools and not giving ranks. Now, what are the grades that we have in our time-based school categorization? Let's have a look at that. So we have top 10 business schools. These are absolutely Ivy League colleges. These are colleges which can definitely compete with premier business schools globally, and these should definitely be given the first preference. Following this, we have triple A plus category business schools, and in this grade also we keep 10 business schools. Next, we have AAA business schools. Again, 10 business schools will be there, and this will be the focus of this session. We already have done sessions on top 10 business schools and AAA plus business schools. My colleague has already conducted those sessions. So, whenever you get time, in case you have not watched those videos, you can go to our Time channel and go to the live section, and you will be able to locate top 10 business school profile video and AAA plus category profile video to watch them after you have watched this session. And today I'm going to talk specifically about AAA category of business schools. That is top 21 to 30 list. Then we have AA. In AA, in A, and in triple B plus and triple B, we include 15 business schools each. Then when you move to double B category, we keep 20 business schools in double B and B plus. And at the bottom, we have got B grade where 40 business schools are kept. Then apart from this, we also have at the bottom others category of business schools. But do keep in mind, in case you are talking about the last two grades, that is B grade and others grade, be a little careful if you're taking admission in these colleges. They may not be good in every aspect. There may be some compromise that you will end up making if you study that. So my recommendation, if you get admission into B grade or others grade colleges, make sure you personally visit the college, have a look at everything, interact with the current students, and see whether the business school is able to match up to your expectations, because not everybody may be satisfied with these two categories. So be a little cautious with B grade and others category. Now, I'm going to talk about AAA category business schools in this session. So let's get started with the first one in the list. Remember, there are 10 business schools. We are not going to rank them. So don't assume that the list that I'm sharing has to do with anything with the ranking. Here, I'm just taking you through the names in random order. So the first and foremost, we have got Department of Industrial and Management Engineering, IME. Essentially, IIT Kanpur is the place. So in IIT Kanpur, there are several programs, and they have Department of Industrial and Management Engineering, and they offer MBA program. So that's the program we are talking about. So earlier, IIT Kanpur used to give admission only to engineers. But the good news is, in the recent past, they have changed the admission criteria. And now engineers can take admission, even non-engineers can take admission in IIT Kanpur. That's a good development that has happened recently. And this is a pretty old business school. It's not a new college. It is more than 2 decade old institution. If you want to be more precise, it's 24-year-old institute. And remember, if a business school is pretty old, the advantage that you have is you will have a good knowledge about the track record of the institution. And IIT Kanpur, of course, is older than this. When I write 24 years, I'm talking about the age of the Department of Industrial and Management Engineering. I'm talking about the year when MBA program was introduced in IIT Kanpur. So it is more than 2 decade old program of MBA. So it has a very good standing in corporate world. And what is interesting about this college is the ROI. What is meaning of ROI? ROI means return on investment. It means if you take a fee that the college is charging and you basically compare it, if you compare it with the salaries that the business school is able to offer you, the kind of placements that the business school is able to offer you, this comparison will give you the return on investment. So basically, salaries that people are getting divided by the fee the student has paid. The salary that a student has got divided by the fee that the student has paid, that will give you return on investment for pursuing MBA from that particular business school. And IIT Kanpur has an extraordinary ROI because of the fee structure, of course. They have a moderate fee structure. They charge approximate, again, these values are not 100% accurate. They charge approximately around 4 lakhs. So just 4 lakhs is the fee that they are charging. And considering that the fees is only around 4 lakhs, it's a very, very attractive fee structure that they have in place. And this fee structure ensures that the ROI becomes brilliant. In fact, if you look at the average salary that IIT Kanpur secured in 2024, it was 18 lakhs, a little more than 18 lakhs per annum. And for 2025 also, they ended up with around, again, this is not the accurate exact number, but they ended up with around 17 lakhs per annum. So 4 lakh salary, sorry, 4 lakh fees and 17 lakh salary on average. This gives an unbelievable ROI. So I would encourage everyone to target IIT Kanpur without fail as such. Another interesting thing that I like about the college is the intake. Remember, if the college has a smaller intake, then getting a placement for yourself becomes very comfortable. Even if economic conditions are not very conducive, they are not very encouraging. Despite that, getting a job becomes more easier because you have less competition. Remember, during MBA, all your classmates will be your friends. You will share beautiful memories with them. But the moment placements begin, that is where those same friends of yours will end up becoming your competitors for getting a good job. And as far as IIT Kanpur goes, the intake is less than 100. So when you have a business school with less than 100 intake, it becomes a very attractive place to pursue your MBA because even if, God forbid, the economic situation goes down, in spite of that, you will be able to get a job for yourself because there are less number of competitors during the placement process. So this is again a reason why IIT Kanpur becomes such an attractive place. Last but not the least is the brand value. Remember, brand IIT has a very good global recognition, not just in India, but even if you go abroad, even if you go to America or Europe or anywhere else, you will always get the respect because there are very few brands, education brands in India that have got global recognition like IIT, IIM, right? AIMS. So the IIT definitely is one of those brands that has got a very good recollect value across the world as such. Now, coming to the cutoff, what percentile should you be aiming at? See, I would say, again, profile does play a part, but still, target 90 plus percentile for admission into IIT Kanpur. This is for general category people. If you have reservation, it will be much lower than this. But people who are general category target more than 90 percentile in a CAT exam. Now, one question that often gets asked is, when will I get the application form? Remember, as far as IITs are concerned, the application form only upcomes after CAT results are announced. So after CAT results come out, that's when IITs will release their application form, and every IIT has a separate application form, and you can purchase IIT Kanpur if you are expecting an interview call from there. My recommendation is, even if you are on a border with respect to your percentile, I would still encourage you to take a gamble and do apply, because in terms of ROI, this is a brilliant college. So that is about IIT Kanpur, friends. Now let's move on to the next institute in this list. Again, the next one is also an IIT. Now we are talking about IIT Kharagpur. Now, IIT Kharagpur, they call it Vinod Gupta School of Management, popularly known as VG SOM. So, VG SOM is nothing but IIT Kharagpur. Again, this particular institution has a very old track record. It's not a new college, it's a pretty old college. And remember, IIT Kharagpur, of course, is many decade old college. But I'm talking specifically about Vinod Gupta School of Management. So, Vinod Gupta School of Management is a 32-year-old institution. So, it's also a pretty old college. It has a very good track record of more than 3 decades now. Now, in this college, again, if you look at the kind of placements that happen, the kind of jobs people get, they are pretty attractive. In fact, the average salary in 2024 was whopping 20.8 lakhs per annum. In fact, in 2025, this number went up, and IIT Kharagpur successfully placed their students at an amazing salary of more than 22 lakhs per annum. So IIT Kharagpur or Vinod Gupta School of Management does an amazing job when it comes to placements. And what makes IIT Kharagpur again a pretty attractive destination is the fact that again they also charge pretty moderate fee structure. So if you look at the fees that IIT Kharagpur charges, it is somewhere around 10 lakhs. So if a college is charging around 10 lakhs and is able to offer you more than 22 plus lakhs of average pay, then the ROI, I'm sure you would agree with me, will be absolutely fabulous. So that's the reason, friends. It definitely makes sense to target IIT Kharagpur, give it a lot of importance. And as far as this college is concerned, again, a profile does play a role in this college also. But I would encourage you to apply to this college if you have around 90 percentile in CAT, then definitely target it. More than 90, preferably for general category people. And as far as this institute is concerned, the number of students that they select is again not very high. So you can expect around 180, sometimes a little less also, students getting selected in this institution. So again, the intake is not very high intake as such. And as far as this business school is concerned, as you can observe, the fact that the ROI is very good is one attractive proposition. But apart from that, the quality of education in both IIT Kanpur as well as IIT Kharagpur is also very good. The quality of the professors who are teaching this is absolutely top notch. That's the reason Time considers these two institutions among AAA grade. Now, same as IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur also will release their application form after CAT results are announced. And remember, the advantage of having a form available after the CAT results come out is you can have a look at your percentile. And if your percentile is good enough, then you can buy the application form of that business school. Otherwise, you can skip it. So you have that advantage of checking out your percentile and then deciding for yourself, is it worthy enough of buying that application form or not. So that's what makes IITs a good colleges, in the sense that it's a very good way to conduct the admission process. It's a very ethical way of conducting the admission process. The students who secure little low percentiles need not waste their money, and that is good for the student community also. So this is about IIT Kharagpur, or as we say, Vinod Gupta School of Management. The next business school is Department of Financial Studies, popularly known as DFS. Now, this is affiliated to Delhi University. Remember, Delhi University has a lot of good colleges like FMS Delhi, Delhi School of Economics, DB. So one of them is DFS, and DFS is a pretty attractive place, especially if you are someone who is interested in finance or analytics. And it's a very good college to target. Now, what makes this institution such an attractive place to study? First and foremost, is the fee structure. The fees in this college, believe it or not, is less than 1 lakh rupees. Yes, you heard me correct. Less than 1 lakh would be the fee in this college. So you can imagine, if you are studying in a college like DFS, then you don't have to take a bank loan. Very comfortably, you'll be able to fund the education with your own money. And that's what makes this college wonderful. But it's not just the fact that the fee is less, but the other aspect that makes it such an attractive place to target is the fact that the placements are also very attractive. In fact, if you look at 2025, the average salary in DFS was more than 19 lakhs per annum. So if a college is charging less than 1 lakh rupee fee and is able to offer you close to 20 lakh of average salary, then the ROI becomes extremely attractive. So definitely DFS should be on your list of targeted business school. It's surely a premier business school which is worthy enough of being targeted. And as far as the intake also is concerned, usually the intake is less than 100. So if less than 100 students are there in your batch, then again getting placement would become very comfortable. Now, I'm sure you are interested in this, but the point is, a lot of people will be interested. That's the reason the cutoff will be on the higher side. You should target 95 plus percentile if you're a general category student. Usually, this college doesn't have sectional cutoffs. That's another reason why the overall cutoff goes up. But it's a good thing. If there is a college without any sectional cutoffs, the advantage for the student community is, even if you perform slightly poorly in one of the areas, you can still make it because your overall percentile may be pretty high because you did an amazing job in one or two sections, and that may have propelled your overall percentile. And that is all that DFS is looking for in students. So that is about DFS Delhi, a remarkable institute. Nevertheless, do target it without fail. The application form is expected to be released pretty soon, and you can apply to them if you are expecting 95 plus. By the way, this 95 plus is again for general category applicants. If you belong to SC, SP, differently abled, or OBC, NC, the cutoff will be much lower than this. So this is about DFS. Again, it's a pretty old institution. It's not a new place. They have been offering this program for the past 38 years. And I'm sure you would agree with me, close to 4 decades. That means it's a pretty old college, has a very good proven track record also. Moving on. The next business school that I want to talk about is again an IIT. It's an IIT Roorkee. So Department of Management Studies, IIT Roorkee is what we are going to talk about. Now again, as far as IIT Roorkee goes, again it's an old institution. If you look at the years, it is 27-year-old institution. And as far as this place is concerned, the fee structure is again pretty moderate. Around 8 lakhs is the fees that they charge. Around 8.5 lakh is the fee that they are charging. And the average salary that they are able to get for the students is pretty attractive. The average salary in 2025 was a little more than 17 lakhs. In fact, close to 18 lakhs is their average salary. So that is what makes IIT Roorkee such an attractive place. Only 8 lakh, 8.5 lakh fee and almost 18 lakhs average salary. So the ROI again, as was the case prior to this with IIT Kanpur and IIT Kharagpur, even this IIT definitely has an amazing ROI, and definitely it is worthy enough for being targeted. Do target it. Do target around 90 percentile in CAT if you're a general category aspirant for admission into IIT Roorkee as such. All right. So this is about IIT Roorkee. Even the intake is around 100 students. So that's again something very attractive, especially in the current economic scenario. The lower intake will definitely help you in getting a placement for yourself. Next, we move on to Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development, popularly known as SCM-HRD. So SCM-HRD is arguably the second best institute under Symbiosis International University. Again, it's a pretty old college. It has got a proven track record of 31 years. So again, more than three decades of existence. And as I said, this is arguably the second best institute under Symbiosis. Now, this particular institute, they do have good placement facilities in place for the students. And if you look at the average salary that they have been able to secure, the number is pretty attractive. In 2024, they had an average salary of 24.2 lakhs per annum. In 2025, also the number is pretty attractive. It is more than 21 lakhs per annum. And this kind of an average salary, it only proves that the college is able to attract very good companies for recruitment. And definitely the salary is on the higher side. But the fee is also slightly on the higher side. The institute, it charges more than 24 lakhs. So more than 24 lakhs would be charged for the MBA program. But still, ROI wise, it's not a bad ROI because it's close to 1:1. So 24 lakhs a fee, a little more than 24 lakh fee. Average salary is more than 20 lakhs. So ROI is not bad, especially in the long run. I would say the ROI is good enough. So that is SCM HRD. They have a very good set of alumni also, very successful set of alumni bases also there. One more thing to keep in mind is the location is also good. Pune is a very good place to study. It's a very good educational hub. And Symbiosis again has a good brand value. They are recognized in corporate world. And in order to take admission in this college, you need to appear for SNAP exam. SNAP application form is already out. So in case you are interested in studying in SCM-HRD, make sure you apply for SNAP. And after applying to SNAP, you need to choose which MBA programs you want, and you need to apply separately to those programs. Of course, all this can be done on SNAP website itself, but you have to pay a separate application fee for SNAP, and for every MBA program that you apply, you need to pay 1,000 rupees. So that is something that you definitely need to remember as such. The cutoff in SNAP for SCM-HRD is pretty high. Target more than 97 percentile if you are a general category applicant. All right. So this is about SCM-HRD. Moving on, now we have an IIM in the list. We have Indian Institute of Management Rohtak, popularly known as IIM Rohtak. Now, IIM Rohtak is a new IIM, as in after Government of India started those 6 old IIMs and then IIM Shillong, after a couple of years after that, they started IIM Rohtak. So if you look at the age of the institute, then IIM Rohtak got established exactly 15 years ago. So it's a 15-year-old college, or if you count the current year also, we can say 16-year-old college. And 16 years is not a short duration. So even though I'm calling it a new IIM, but again, it's not advisable to do that because 16 years, more than 1.5 decades, is a pretty long duration, my friend. So they have succeeded in consolidating their presence, and corporate world definitely respects this institute. And if you look at the figures, they also convey the same message. So if you look at the placements, if you look at the kind of placements that they have secured in 2024, IIM Rohtak succeeded in achieving a pretty handsome pay packet. If you look at the kind of salary that they have been able to secure in 2024, it was 19.2 lakhs. And in 2025 also, they did a good job. 18.7 lakhs was the average salary that they were able to secure for their students. Now they will have a separate application form. Usually IIM Rohtak releases their application form after CAT results are announced, and the cutoff last year was kept at 97 percentile. So 97 was the cutoff that they kept for themselves, but they don't have provision for sectional cutoff. So even if you score slightly lower in one of the sections, it's not a problem as far as IIM Rohtak is concerned. Once again, I want to reiterate, this is for general category applicants. Reserved categories would be much lower than this. ROI wise also, it's an attractive place. The fee that they charge is around 19 lakhs. So if you want a precise number, I would say around 18.9. So around 19 lakhs is the fee that IIM Rohtak charges. And if you look at the ROI, it's close to 1:1. So that ratio is a pretty attractive ratio as such. So IIM Rohtak definitely can be targeted, especially if you are expecting a 97 percentile. You should definitely target IIM Rohtak. Now, moving on. As far as the next institute in the list is concerned, it is IIM Udaipur. So Udaipur got established 2 years after IIM Rohtak got established. So in terms of age, it is a 14-year-old college. So almost 1.5 decades. So it has again got a very good track record. And again, this is a place which has consolidated itself. The intake is somewhere around 300 to 350. IIM Udaipur. And last year they had a cutoff of 95 percentile. But last year, what IIM Udaipur did was they were part of common admission process, which was conducted jointly by multiple IIMs. But this year, IIM Udaipur apparently is going solo. We need to wait for an official confirmation of this. But in case they go solo, then they may have a separate application form. So we need to wait for more details to arrive from IIM Udaipur. And definitely, I would say a good college, definitely worthy enough of being considered. In terms of placements, also, they do a good job. In 2024, they secured an average salary of 18.8 lakhs. 2025 placement report is still awaited. So the placements are pretty good. Close to 20 lakhs was their average pay in 2024, 18.8 to be more precise. So definitely worthy enough of being considered. Fees is around 19 lakhs. Last year was 19 lakhs, little more than 19 lakhs. So again, 19 lakh approximate fees, almost approximate 19 lakh average pay. ROI is pretty much acceptable. Now, as far as the brand value goes, IIM, of course, whether it is IIM Rohtak, whether it is IIM Udaipur, do never underestimate brand value of IIM. So just the same thing that I said about IIT applies for IIM also. It has got global recognition. So definitely you need to give it respect. You need to target this without fail as such. That is IIM Udaipur for you. Another IIM in the list is IIM Ranchi. Again, this college got established along with Rohtak. So it is also 16 years of existence. And last year, IIM Ranchi was part of CAP. And last year's cutoff was 95 percentile. IIM Udaipur and Ranchi, they both have sectional cutoffs. Last year they did. This year, we need to wait for more clarity on how they will carry out the process. As per news, Raipur, Trichy, Ranchi, Kashipur, they are coming together and they'll be having a common admission process. But more information is expected to be released by them in the coming few weeks. So keep an eye for that information. As far as IIM Ranchi is concerned, again, a pretty good place in terms of placements. And if you were to look at the average salaries in 2024, they had an average salary of 18.6 lakhs per annum. And in 2025, the number actually went up to 19.2 lakhs per annum. So the placement figures have been very attractive. And if you were to look at, if you were to consider the fee structure also, the fee that they charge is around 19 lakhs, approximately around 19 lakhs. So same thing that I said about IIM Udaipur and IIM Rohtak applies here, that the ROI is very much acceptable. It's a good ROI, so definitely worthy enough of being considered. And as far as the intake of this particular business school is concerned, they usually take somewhere around 350 students into their MBA program. So again, this is an institute that I would strongly recommend that you target. Definitely worthy enough of being considered. One more IIM we have got here, which got established along with Rohtak and Ranchi, IIM Raipur. Again, this is 16-year-old institution, and in terms of placements, again they have done a pretty good job. If you look at the average salary that they have been able to secure in 2024, the number was very attractive. The number was 19.7 lakhs. 2025 average salary is awaited. The placement report has not yet been released. It is expected to be released pretty soon. As far as intake is concerned, we expect intake to be between 350 to 400 seats in IIM Raipur. The number is on the higher side, but still, as far as the kind of number of companies that are coming for placements in these IIMs is concerned, the number is very high. And that's the reason, even though the intake is high, but the placements are also good because the number of corporations which are visiting the campus for placements is pretty high. As far as last year's cutoff was concerned, it was 96 percentile for general category. Reserved category, of course, is much lower than this. So again, this is an institute that I strongly recommend that you target. Again, the fee is pretty much on the lower side. Around 17 lakhs is the fee that they charge. So the ROI becomes pretty attractive in IIM Raipur also. Now that we have spoken about these IIMs, let's look at the last name that we have in this list. We have NMIMS Mumbai, Narsim Monji Institute of Management Studies, popularly known as NMIMS. Remember, in order to take admission here, you need to write NMAT exam. You need to appear for NMAT exam for admission into this institute. And as far as NMAT exam goes, this exam, the notification is already out, application form is already out, and even the last date to apply is over now. It was 18th of October. But as far as NMAT is concerned, if you look at the cutoff, last year they brought down the cutoff. Earlier the cutoff used to be very high, but NMIMS Mumbai last year they brought the cutoff down to 62 percentile. I'm talking in terms of percentile, in terms of score. It was around 210 marks, not exactly 210, little less than 210. So around 210 was the cutoff in NMIMS Mumbai last year. So the cutoff was brought down. So that's the reason a lot of people were shortlisted, and all those shortlisted candidates, they were made to undergo what they call as a personal interview, but there was also an interview done by artificial intelligence also. There was a test of critical reasoning also that the students have undergone, and that was a very lengthy process that the students had to undergo. So NMIMS is again a very attractive place. Mumbai campus is the first campus. It's a very attractive place. The intake last year was 600. This year we need to wait for the number. But last year the intake for the MBA program was 600. They also have MBA HR and analytics and other programs. So the intake was on the higher side, but the number of companies visiting the campus is also on the higher side. So getting a placement will not be very difficult. Now, as far as the fee is concerned, fees is on the higher side. Last year they charged around 27 lakhs. Remember, this doesn't include hostel and mess. When you stay in Mumbai, and your living expenses will be on the higher side. So 27 lakhs is only the money that you are paying to NMIMS for the education part. Living expenses are additional. So the ROI is, I would say, decent. It's not good, but decent ROI. Because the average salary in 2024 was around 25 lakhs. So average salary is pretty attractive. But because the fee is on the higher side, expenditure on the higher side, I would say the ROI is decent. Again, it's not a bad ROI. Some people, unfortunately, they think it's bad. It's not bad. It's decent ROI. but it's not as attractive ROI as the other business schools that we have spoken so far. But it's a premier business school, definitely worthy enough of being considered. They attract very good multinational companies during the placement process. So this is about NMIMS, and of course, it is situated in financial capital of India, in the heart of the city of Mumbai. So that is again an attractive proposition as far as the business school is concerned. 2025 placement report is awaited. It is expected to be released anytime soon as such. All right. Now, if you have any questions, if you have any queries, do send me your question. I'll answer your questions now. Please use the chat option. You will be able to see in front of you the option of sending across your question to me. So please use that option and send across your question. I'll answer your questions now. Go ahead. All right. So one thing that people generally ask me about this business school is, so as far as these business schools are concerned, if I'm in a dilemma whether to apply or not, would you recommend me to apply? Would you encourage me to apply, or would you say that I should wait and not apply? Basically, see, my recommendation to my students always is, if you are in dilemma, you're not sure whether to apply to a particular business school or not, it's always better to apply rather than not apply. Because see, if you apply, nobody will force you to join that institute. If you apply to that institution and you don't feel like joining it later on, probably you had a better plan B in place and you don't feel like joining, you need not join. But if you don't apply and later on you felt that, I should have applied, then you will feel extremely bad. You will regret your decision of not applying. So I would encourage you to always apply when you are in dilemma rather than not apply. All right. The next question says, sir, I got a profile of 875 BCom background with 3.5 years experience in HR, and getting enough marks for 95 percentile in previous year exams. Which colleges should I realistically target? You did not mention your reservation category, but if I assume it to be general category, then with 95 percentile, if you end up with in CAT exam, then my friend, you will definitely be able to target almost all colleges. Only colleges where you would kind of struggle would be the old IIMs. So a little difficult to get the old IIMs with this range of percentile, considering your entire profile. But other than the old IIMs, the other places that I have mentioned in today's session, as well as most of the AAA plus category of business schools that we have in our time B school list, you will be definitely able to target almost all of them. Very few of those colleges you will miss. For example, a college like SPJ in Mumbai or ISB Hyderabad, you may miss them because of your academic profile. But other than this, most of the other colleges, you will definitely have a very good chance. The next question comes from Neha. Neha says, target business school, IIM Ahmedabad. Okay, targeted business school, she means. IIM Ahmedabad, FMS, XLRI. And then she has mentioned her academic profile, which is decent except for graduation. Then she says, zero work experience, non-engineering female. Fair enough. But you didn't mention your question, Neha. You didn't mention what you expect in CAT. As far as profile goes, it's a good profile, especially your 10th and 12th percentages are very attractive, very good. So that part is pretty good, beta. But what percentile you need? Okay, you are asking what percentile to target. If you're a general category person, Neha, then I would encourage you to target 95 plus percentile in CAT. That way, you will be able to compensate for your graduation percentage. 95 plus percentile would be a good target. Neha has added a comment now. Neha says percentile required for PWD. Okay. If you are a differently able candidate, then you don't need 95 plus, Neha. You can safely target 80 plus percentile also in CAT if you are looking at some of the premier IIMs, right? The top IIMs, if you're looking at, then target 80 plus overall percentile with around, say, 50 plus or 60 plus sectional percentiles. That'll be a good target to keep for yourself. Ritik is asking me what should be a safe score to get 95 percentile in CAT. That's a difficult question to answer because it will depend primarily on the difficulty level of this year's CAT. Since nobody has any clue what will be the difficulty level of this year's CAT, nobody will be able to answer this question. So, if the difficulty level goes up compared to last year, or will it come down compared to last year, that will decide how many marks you should secure to get that percentile, my friend. So I won't be able to answer it because obviously I have no idea what will be the difficulty level this year. Okay. All right. Fraser, as far as your work experience is concerned, almost all top business schools will give you good amount of weightage. In fact, I would say most times you will get maximum possible weightage for your work experience. So it's definitely an asset for you, and my friend, right? It's definitely going to help you in the process. Okay, I answered all the questions that came from your side. So I guess since I have answered all the questions, we have come to the end of this session. So, okay, I've got one more question now. Good old days says general category 876, engineering no work experience, targeted colleges for 98 to 99 percentile. Please do fill the application form for MDI Gurgaon. You can fill SPJN also, provided you can aim at a little higher percentile, but definitely you can go ahead and fill the application form. MDA for sure, SPJN would be a gamble, but still go ahead and fill it up. You can also target other premier colleges that I included in today's session. You can also target IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi. You can also target colleges, other premier institutions that we have. Those also can be targeted like IAFT and TIS. If you have an interest in HR, then you target TIS also. Okay, I've got one more question. Ritik says, should we consider SRCC? It is not in the same league as the business schools that I'm talking about. We classify it as one of the A grade institutions, so it's a good college nevertheless. The ROI is pretty attractive, but in terms of quality of delivery and quality of placements, it's not in the same league as the business schools we have spoken about in today's session. But if ROI is pretty important for you, do target SRCC also. Chinmaya Kumar says 10th, 81%, diploma 69.9, 6.5 GPA. Which colleges target through NMAT, XCT if less marks in CAT? So the top institutions under NMAT would be LMIMS Group. Other than that, if fees is not a constraint, SDA Bocconi is a good option. Xavier University Bhubaneswar can be another option you can target. KJ Somaya, IFMR. These are some of the good institutions. Under XCT, apart from XLRI, you can also target again Xavier Institute, Xavier University Bhubaneswar, IMT Ghaziabad, IMI Delhi, BIM Trichy, LIBA, IFMR, GIM, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Ford Delhi. All these institutions do accept XCT scores also. All right. FMS, what about FMS? FMS offers very good placements. The average salary a couple of years back was more than 34 lakhs. And the fee is very moderate, hardly around 2 lakh rupees. We have included FMS Delhi in a first part of this series. So go to YouTube channel and you can watch the first part of the series. We have covered FMS over there as such. So Neha, your questions are about colleges that are there in top 10. We have a separate video on that, Neha. I would encourage you to watch that video on our YouTube channel. You will get an answer for your question. So Rupa, you need to choose a college based on your expected CAT percentile. So unless you tell a faculty member what is your expected range of CAT percentile, a faculty member will not be able to give you a list of colleges to apply. So if you are a TIME student, do get in touch with your local TIME center and request for an appointment with a faculty member, sit with a faculty member and share your expected percentile. That's where you will be able to get a list of colleges. Samarth, if you secure 95 percentile, considering your profile, you will have a good chance at MDI Gurgaon. Go ahead and apply. I'm not taking up questions which are not related to today's topic. I can see some questions about how to prepare and so on. We have recorded a separate video on that. There is a separate session we have done on this. So do watch that video. Yesterday it was uploaded. So please check our channel for a video on 5 weeks to CAT. The next questions come from Raj Purohit. I'm planning to give CAT, XCD, CMAT, SRCC, GBO as my budget constraint. Should I replace any exam with NMAT or SNAP? If yes, please guide me. So when you say budget constraint, is it budget constraint with respect to the fee or only application fee? If fees is not a constraint for you, that means you can take a bank loan and you're okay with the bank loan, then I would encourage you to definitely write SNAP. You can replace one of the other exams that you have mentioned. Don't replace XAT, CAT. These two are very important. You can replace either CMAT or SRCC with SNAP. That will open up more options for you. But the fee will be on the higher side. You'll have to take a bank loan if you cannot afford to pay on your own. So you take a call on this based on the interaction you have with your parents. Okay. So with this, we have come to the end of this session, friends. Hope you enjoyed this session. Hope you got a good insight into AAA great business schools that we have in our list. And now is the time to work hard for your preparation. And on behalf of everybody at TIME, I wish you all the best. May you get a lot of success. And do subscribe to our channel if you have not done it already. And do check out other videos. There are loads of videos available in live section. Check them out. Also, if you have not watched part 1 and part 2 of this series, go ahead and watch them. Thank you everyone for attending this session. All the best.